Bonjour and welcome to my operator guide for Rook. This is one of a series of short videos that will help you get the most out of each operator in Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. If you are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and click the notification bell so you can stay up to date on my videos and help the channel grow. If you've seen some of my other videos and are confused about the French accent, I try to change my accent to match the nationality of the operator in each video whenever possible. Et maintenant, let's talk about Rook. Rook is a 3 armor, 1 speed defending operator from the French Groupe d'Intervention de la Gendarmerie Nationale, or GIGN. He is a very resilient operator who can improve the defensive capabilities of his entire team. He is one of the game's original 10 defending operators and remains a strong choice for any team. Rook's unique gadget is not so much a gadget, but rather a collection of armor plates. This takes the form of a large bag that he is able to place on the floor in front of him. This allows Rook and his 4 teammates to approach the bag and hold the action key to pick up and equip the armor plates. Once the bag has been deployed, it cannot be retrieved or moved. When the bag has been placed down by Rook, defenders will have a marker on their heads-up display that will inform them of the bag's location, as well as how many armor plates are remaining. Operators can only wear 1 plate at a time, but if they are downed and revived, they can equip another one. However, since every defender should equip a plate during the prep phase, there should be no spares. Once equipped, Rook Armor provides a 20% resistance to damage from bullets to any part of the torso or limbs. The armor does nothing to protect the operator from headshots or explosives. Additionally, when wearing Rook Armor, if an operator's health is reduced to 0, they will enter the down but not out, or DBNO, state, allowing them to be revived by a teammate if they are able to move to safety. While this can happen without Rook Armor, wearing the armor will guarantee DBNO every time, except for headshots of course. Once an operator has been downed, they will lose the benefit of the Rook Armor and cannot enter the DBNO state again. When in the DBNO state, Rook Armor will actually double the bleed out timer, giving you more time to get to cover and your teammates more time to come and rescue you. Interestingly, equipping Rook Armor does not affect the speed or the noise generated by the operator who is wearing it. The effect is purely passive and only affects damage multipliers. The armor also provides no cosmetic change to any of the operators, and the only operator who can actually be seen to wear an armor plate is Rook himself. Another amusing fact about the armor plates is that the armor can be equipped by attackers, if there is a spare plate and an attacker is willing to risk going through the equipping animation while on the objective site. This is rare and rather stupid, but can be fun in casual games. On the screen now is how I personally run Rook. I always use the MP5 as it is a reliable SMG with a rapid rate of fire, reasonable stopping power and low recoil. As of Operation Shadow Legacy, Rook no longer has access to an ACOG sight on his MP5. Instead, I would go for a 2x magnification sight. This gives a clear sight picture and offers a decent zoom level for holding tight angles. In addition to the scope, I equipped the MP5 with a vertical grip and a flash hider for burst firing over long distances. Rook's first alternative primary weapon is the P90. This Belgian-made SMG has a rapid fire rate and a 50-round magazine. However, to compensate for this, it also has moderate recoil and low damage, even for an SMG. This makes it good for close-range engagements, but not especially effective for anything over medium range. Since the P90 has a built-in grip, I would equip it with a flash hider and a 1.5 magnification sight if you plan to use it up to medium range. Rook's second alternative primary weapon is the SJ-CQB shotgun. This powerful pump-action shotgun is one of the strongest shotguns in the game, but is of course limited to very close range. While Rook is an anchor, he is most effective with a more versatile ranged weapon, and I would not recommend using the shotgun. Rook has a choice of sidearms between the P9 pistol and the LFP586 revolver. I typically use the P9 because of its large magazine and high precision, especially when equipped with a muzzle brake. However, if you simply want raw power, the 586 is one of the hardest hitting weapons in the game, able to down any opponent in 2 body shots. However, it has a slow rate of fire and massive recoil, and cannot equip any barrel attachments to compensate for this. For secondary gadgets, Rook can take either impact grenades or proximity alarms. I would usually bring proximity alarms, as the information they provide is extremely valuable, especially if they are intelligently placed. However, if you have operators on your team who are bringing several proximity alarms and you need to create rotates between objective sites, then impact grenades are useful for setting this up. Rook has one job and one job only: be the team anchor. He should be played as the last line of defense and should only leave the objective site if absolutely necessary. When placing down your armor plates, try to do so as quickly as possible and remind your team to pick up their armor. There is nothing more annoying than seeing a roamer run off at the start of the prep phase and forget their armor. While the armor should be placed quickly, you should also consider where it is being placed. Sometimes you can drop the bag as soon as you spawn, but if you're standing in a doorway or near a window, try to move and put the bag in a safer and more convenient location. If one of your teammates doesn't put on their armor until the action phase, they might be vulnerable to attackers if you place your armor in a corridor or near an exterior door or window. Once his primary gadget has been deployed, you should focus on setting up a defensive line, using either impact grenades to create rotates or deploying proximity alarms in choke points and flanking routes to stop attackers from surprising you as they approach. Once this is done, Rook will need to cover the objective, holding tight angles on doorways and supporting his teammates when needed. Please do not roam when you are playing as Rook. He is loud, slow, and unlike his fellow Frenchman Doc, he cannot heal or revive himself if he gets injured. As a Rook player, you should be someone your team can rely on to remain on the objective whenever possible. Rook's gadget applies equally to all of his teammates and does not synergize with any particular operator. However, since the armor plates don't slow down faster operators or make any additional noise, they will benefit roamers, who tend to be more fragile operators and will benefit the most from the additional protection when they are far from the objective. In the same way that Rook doesn't benefit any specific teammates with his gadget, he also doesn't have any specific counters. However, since the armor plates only protect against bullet damage, the wearer is still vulnerable to attackers who can deal damage in other ways, such as Capital's incendiary crossbow bolts, Gridlock's track stingers, or any form of explosive damage. Rook is a solid, dependable operator who has been a core part of the defending team since the game's launch. He is simple to understand and easy to play, and a perfect operator for new players who want to get a feel for how defense works in Rainbow Six Siege. That concludes my operator guide, and I hope you have picked up some tips on how to use Rook effectively. If you would like to see more videos like this one, consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. Your support is always appreciated. Merci beaucoup for watching, and have a great rest of your day.